It is cognitive skills that we are aiming towards, of which thinking is the first area for any cognitive uh, sphere of understanding. All right. So now I would like to present cognitive thinking skill in the area of cognitive skills. Thinking, what is thinking? What do we expect to be thinking? As Dr. Catherine's introduced, it is a process. Thinking is not a one-time event. It is a process that everybody is doing with. Cognitive skills deals with, first of all, thinking skill. Shall we go with Alma ma'am? Alma ma'am?
I am here. Yes, I am here. Yeah.
So let's see, let us hear what Dr. Abdul Kalam talks about. And we all know he was a people president, and more than being people president, he was very much towards students. And our responsibility as teachers and teacher educators, it is our responsibility to imbibe in our children the skills of thinking, cognitive skills. So let's listen to what Dr. APJ says about. Yes?
Major strength. What are the major strength of India?
And weakness of our India.
And weakness. Fantastic boy. What class you are studying?
7th standard.
7th standard. Okay. Now, strength of India. What the major strength of India? You guys. That is 600 million youth. Major strength of India, 600 million youth. Okay?
Okay.
So the youth, repeat with me, ignited mind, all of you, ignited mind of the youth is the most powerful resource on the earth, above the earth, under the earth. You said, what is the weakness of India? Weakness of India. What is the weakness of India? Weakness of India, without vision, a nation dies without vision. You must have a vision, okay? Great vision.
Thank you, sir.
So the next one. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Are you with the second slide? Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Is it visible? Yeah? No? I'll present it again. Yes, ma'am. Yeah?
உங்களுடன் பகிர்ந்து கொள்ள விரும்புகிறேன். அதாவது அறிவு என்பது, சொல்லுங்க பாப்போம், அறிவு என்பது கற்பனை சக்தி பிளஸ் மன தூய்மை பிளஸ் உறுதி. அதாவது கற்பனை சக்தி, மன தூய்மை, உள்ள உறுதி மூன்று சேர்ந்துதான் அறிவு. அந்த கற்பனை சக்தி முதல் கற்பனை சக்தி என்றால் என்ன என்று பார்ப்போமா? கற்றல் கற்பனை சக்தியை வளர்க்கிறது. கற்பனை சக்தி சிந்திக்கும் திறனை தூண்டுகிறது, சிந்தனை அறிவை வளர்க்கிறது, அறிவு உன்னை மகானாக்குகிறது.
Yes. Do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes. Very good. Only your knowledge makes you be great. Okay. With this, from the very talk of Dr. APJ, everybody would have understood. I mean, whether either from these slides or not, we all know Dr. Kalam is for people, right? Do you see this? Do you see the slides?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we are able to see.
Fine, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable. Now, thinking, thinking skill, the very word cognitive skill and my name, everything is big, but thinking skill is very small, It is not seen, but it is revealed by our action. When I was thinking about this thinking skill, I was telling myself, all are learned professors, are teachers and teacher educators. And what am I to say? How am I to say? So Albert Einstein, the scientist, gave me spirit, saying that if you can't explain it simply, you haven't understood it well enough. No, I do have understood. So I'm before you. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. No. We are all brisk people, and I'm not lazy. Yet let me say it again, we are not lazy. So when we say think, what do you think? The same old thinking, the same old result. So in that case, what are we going to think? Let's ask, when do we think? Well, how do we think? Why do we think at all? What is the result then? Okay, let me ask you questions. Did anybody teach you to walk? How did we get alphabets? How did we get numbers? We are all using it. Oh, this is the time now, it's 3:45, and you got a plate of biryani. And what else? Is there any good combination? Somebody is wondering at, what is this? And is it a coffee or a tea? When you see this, so many things comes in your mind. This is our time. Maybe for you, some of you who used to take your lunch by 4 o'clock, this may be fitting. But in general, it's not a regular routine to have your lunch by this time. This is neither your tea time also. But when I have presented it, so many things, so many ideas, so many views. Why the hell this being presented? It comes in your mind. All right? Let's see why I presented this. When you see this biryani or a flavored coffee, you observe, you smell, you taste, you enjoy, and you appreciate whoever did it. Do you all do that? Many of us, we eat and simply go off. Mommy will be looking at you, sister will be looking at you, wife will be looking at you, but you don't appreciate and go. Only when you appreciate, it is revealed that the food, whichever is presented, is appreciated or it's good for you to consume. So every action, there should be a reaction. If you eat it, and you have to appreciate it. At least let's learn it right now. Now, why should I talk all these things right now? When you eat and when you enjoy, when you like it, the very smell, the very taste, the very way it was presented, you like it. So next time when you go for any again, be it to your hotel, to your friend's house, or in your own house. When you want to take this food again, the same type of biryani, you get identified that with, oh, the other day, the color was not to this extent. You remember that the color not being so. You smell the taste. Oh, it is the same as that of the one that I consumed the other day. The taste is also so good as I ate the other day. You analyze, you compare, you criticize. The other day it was more tasty than today. Oh, today it's so beautiful, it's so nice, it's so well presented. The taste is also so good, and the smell is also so good, and therefore you eat a lot, you judge. Hereafter, okay, hereafter, let us get along with this type of preparation. You go and ask the recipe, what is this? How did you make it? Don't you? So you decide that hereafter, let me do this. Okay. Now, when you do it again, when you are doing the job of preparing your biryani, or you mean I know I'm addressing a mixed group, but it's not necessary. ஆடுவார் என்பதனால் ஆடவர் என்றார். Nalabhagam, right? Nalabhagam is for men only. So I think you all can enjoy and all can prepare it or try to do it. Now recall what exactly you ate the previous time, or the time before that. Then you judge how exactly you are going to do that. Remember what are all the things that you tasted and which all you don't like. Then you rearrange what has to be added and what not has to be added. How exactly you have to reduce the flavor, or how exactly you have to increase the flavor. So these are all the things that you think about, and being focused, you are going to prepare the nice good biryani. How many of you are able to do very good biryani, make very good biryani? I do it well. You are invited. Well, what do you see on the screen? Britannica and some encyclopedia. Somebody else is also have read it. He has read it and running fast. For what? Now, these Britannica, do you think these Britannicas are knowledgeable? Are they knowledgeable? Ask a question. Who is knowledgeable? The one who reads. The Britannica is having the bundle of information, volumes and volumes of information. But the one who reads only is going to be called as a knowledgeable person. I asked you a question. Did anybody teach you to walk? Recall. Somebody was holding you. Somebody was holding you when you, as a toddler, when you were about to walk. Your mother would have stretched her hands and making you to walk. Or like how you see in the picture, somebody was holding you and making you to walk. And slowly, they just left you and you started walking. And that's the job of the elders. And I also asked you a question, how the alphabets came. The alphabets came from the sound. It is a symbol representing sound. And how about the numbers? Very often we say the number just comes like that. No, my dear friends, it's not so. There is one, and with that one added, it makes two. You know the numbers? Initiated. It was first framed for the purpose of counting. And therefore, 1 plus 1 is equal to 3. I mean, 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, plus 1 is equal to 3, plus 1 is equal to 4, and so on. So we don't realize that this is how the numbers generated. And I'm sorry if you I have asked so many people about this, and when they fail to answer, and when they not exactly fail to, they don't think about in this line. So that's why I presented this. But with this, I'm going to tell you, if 1 plus 1 is going to be 2, where came this 1? Oh, that's it. And before 1 is 0. And when I say the 0 and 1, very often we get, when I was a teacher, my friends used to ask me, what you're all talking about 0? I thought 0 has no value. But you're talking so much about 0. 0 by infinity, by 0. 1 by 0, 0 by 1. 0 by 8, 8 by 0. You're talking so much about 0. And what is the value? And once we say about the numbers, we know the number 1 to 9 contributed by Arabians, and number 0 is contributed from India. Okay, it is the Indian mathematician who contributed that. Now, these are all the things comes in your mind. And as a person, usually I talk, maybe even when I was introduced, when I think about 0 and 1, yes, in the beginning, there was God. There wasn't anything. And there was God, one God was there. So see, look at the way I think about. It's just a number alone. We just say number 1, 2, 3, and so on. And we talk about 0. And I talk about voidness, God, one and the only God, right? So likewise, when you see certain things, your thinking gets elaborated. So what? Being elaborated? Unless otherwise, you transfer your learning, any amount of your learning is going to be a waste. Any amount of your knowledge being gathered is going to be a waste. Any amount of your understanding being made is going to be a waste. And therefore, you should apply. Transfer of learning alone takes a person or projects a person to be a learned person. Transfer of learning alone helps the person to project himself or herself as a knowledgeable person because you are applying it. But how do you apply? Just like that? No, add on according to your situation where it demands, according to the place, according to the problem, according to the area of interest. You have to analyze, then synthesize it. Only then it becomes a very good bundle of information. Yes, video please. And how come this bundle of information is going to be projected? You should have the focusing value. You should have the focusing attitude. Do you focus? Yes, come on, video. Raji? Okay. Okay, I have to stop sharing.
Over to Mrs. Rajkumari. Ma'am, you're there?
Yes, ma'am. Alma, ma'am, if you have. Raji? Okay, then. I'll do it later. Rajakumari is there?
Yeah, ma'am. I'm here, ma'am. I'm sharing.
Okay, fine. Yes, I don't see it.
Wait.
Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
Is it done? Is it done? I didn't see.
Yeah, she's coming on.
Okay. I didn't see. I didn't have that.
Okay, can you see, ma'am?
Okay.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Is it coming?
Okay. Sorry. Tanma, ma'am, is it some glitches? Can you play?
Alma, ma'am, can you see
Yeah.
that?
Alma,
Yeah,
ma'am,
Okay,
can
you're
you?
seeing. No
We are
issues.
not. Yeah, we
Okay.
are not able to see your slides. Which one you want me to?
Focus.
No. Not all.
Wait. Let me share.
Raji has to. Yes.
But it is not. It is not audible, ma'am.
No need. Just you can see. You can see. Focus. He's telling him to focus. Yes, focus. He's showing focus.
Okay, once again I will show.
Yes.
You don't get the audio. That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. That's okay. Now, see what you see there is it's a beautiful. Let me come with my slide. Yeah, you are focusing. Anything you want to see or you want to do, unless you focus, your thinking will not be there. You know, in the introduction, I think they were talking about you gain knowledge or you just see, observe from all your sense organs and you get your knowledge. The sense organs are the gateway for you to acquire knowledge. So in that way, unless otherwise you have focus, you will not be able to acquire knowledge at all. So let me say, as I told you, when you eat biryani, it's not a one-time event. Only the biryani material is one time, but you take the taste, you carry the taste. The next time, when it is prepared in a bad manner, you say it's not at all good. The next time, when it is done in a beautiful manner, you say, the other day, more than the other day, it is better than the other day. Oh, it has come out so very well. Keep it alone. Keep it aside some more for me. Okay. So these are the things that we get along with because eating biryani was not a one-time event. The idea, the knowledge that you gain gets carried. So thinking is not a one-time event. It is a process. It is a mental process. Have you recollect my first slide? There would have been cognitive skills, bigger one, my name and my academy in bigger, but thinking, I purposely made it very small because thinking is not seen. It is inner. You have to develop. We use or we think to do things like solving problem, making decision, asking questioning, construct plans, evaluate ideas, organize information, and create object. We've got types of thinking, convergent analytical thinking, divergent thinking, critical thinking, creative thinking, but all these things based on two factors. One is concrete and the other is abstract. What do you mean by concrete? I have something solid here, right? Types of thinking, it is written, you see it. It is concrete. But the thinking, what I have, or what I'm going to talk, what example I'm going to say for these types of thinking, you do not know. It's abstract. I will be revealing, it's not going to be seen or it is not going to be realized, but as and when we talk about, and you get it into your mind, and that is abstract. Concrete thing, what you think, and abstract is you develop on that, and with your imagination, with your understanding, with your exploration. It is not a motor skill, it is your innate skill. And with your interpolation, with your extrapolation, you're going to get that into your bundle of knowledge. What is convergent thinking? What is convergent analytical thinking is? Convergent thinking is the process of coming up with the best answer to a question using our memory, resources around us, or logic. You know, I used to say that convergent, you got so many ideas, you got so many concepts, you got very much amount of bundle of information, but what is needed for this particular is only this. And here I would like to tell you one thing, my dear friends, we are all teachers and teacher educators, but very often the students in an escapism way of dealing things, they'll say, what, they have taken questions, all essay write question they have asked in short answer, all short answer they have asked in very short answer, and very short answer they have asked for essay write. So this is the grievances always our children used to have. That's not so. The planners, the education providers, they're not so very simple, or those who are taking questions, they're not very dullhead to take questions like that. No, 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 no. It's a real question to ask you, are you able to converge things and put it in a nutshell in the short form when you have learned something in the essay form? Are you capable of elaborating it? Yes. Are you capable of elaborating it? That is what you're divergent thinking. Are you capable of making it a bigger one with constructive values? So it involves, your divergent thinking involves coming up to solutions, paths forward, or new ideas when there is no single correct answer. So your divergent thinking, you think very much about, with one little area, you just think more. And with more things, you just get convergent. And there is one concept, Nettiyadi in Tamil. That is what your convergent thinking. Critical thinking, what is critical thinking? People are very clever in criticizing. We criticize. We are really embedded with much skills of thinking. We criticize, but we stand alone there. With that, we have to develop critical thinking skills involve analyzing something in order to form a judgment about it. Actually, we psychologists, we always say, I mean, not only psychologists, educationists, we always say, do not have judgment. When you want to learn certain things, don't be judgmental. But critical thinking leads you to have some judgment values. You're judgmental. Of course, you do need to have some arrive at a meaningful information. You do have to got judgmental. You do have to have practice of judgmental ability. But for that purpose, not for criticizing your friends, anybody else. A critical thinker does not take the assumption of a topic for granted. Instead, the critical thinking involves criticizing what we are viewing, using our available intellectual knowledge. So you are using. And when you are using, you deal with all these things, deduction, induction, and abduction. What do you mean by deduction? Includes the critical thinking skills that involve drawing conclusions based on the facts at hand. See, here I would like to say, if there are mathematics teachers, you may be knowing, what is mathematics? It is bridging the gap between the given data and the needed result. How effectively you are going to bridge that, there lies your way of thinking. Induction includes the critical thinking skills that involve drawing conclusion based on a generalization. Again, here I'm coming to the mathematics teachers. Myself being a mathematics teacher earlier, good old days, we always have some grievances. That is, our children, the parents of our children come and complain, what? This particular mathematics teacher is doing only the first two sums. Because those two sums are very easy, this teacher is doing these two sums and leaving all the hard problems to the students to do at home. It's not so. Why? The teacher has been teaching all these years. Do you think they do not know all these things? See, what you can see there is some example problem will be solved. There is in the exercises, there is gradation of your logical level of thinking, higher order thinking, and this is how beautifully we are framing. Only thing we don't realize, and sometimes even we teachers, we don't take it in the right sense to make it to the students' understanding. See, it has to go in a gradual manner to make you think. From lower level, that's what I told you, from concrete to abstract. You have to go, run. I showed you a picture, run to the level of abstract. And even one more thing I would like to say, and now only we are having all these gadgets, scientific gadgets. Earlier what they had, with mathematical calculation, the whole universe, the planetary movement were brought down onto the desktop with paper and pencil. We were able to control or predict the movement of the planets around the globe. All right. So to that extent, we do have got this kind of skills of thinking, wherein we fail to identify. So we are developing, but we don't identify and make the students. So this is what we have to think about, or we have to concentrate more on. Abduction includes the critical thinking skills that involve coming to a conclusion that is the most likely or logical based on the small amount of knowledge that you have. With you have very little, but with that, how logically you can arrange, how sequentially you can arrange, that is what is your thinking is. Now, creative thinking involves thinking about a topic in unusual, unconventional, and alternative ways to generate new ideas about an established topic. A creative thinker will try to address an issue from a perspective that hasn't been used before. Here, I would like to get you something. Let's see. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes. Yes.
Yes. Let's go with this. See how he's thinking?
பால் அரைச்சிருக்க குடிச்சிருந்தேன்.
யாருக்கு பால் வேணும்? அங்க பாருங்க, படம் பாருங்க.
But we are not able to see your movie, ma'am. We are not
Don't
able
you?
to see you. No, no.
I'm sorry, I don't know why you didn't get the video. Has it stopped?
It's not played at all.
It's
We
not
don't see-
playing.
Yeah, yeah. We don't see the movie.
Okay, okay. One second.
Can you
One
put the
second.
question now?
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm enjoying. Haha. Do you get it now?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, now.
Now we are getting. Oh, this I could have played for you.
So look at the way.
But it's not audible. It's not audible.
It is not audible. I'm sorry. Either audio or video is.
Sorry. Okay, I will present for you.
Okay, I'll put it off.
Shall I present for you?
Okay, please go ahead.
Oh my God.
We had nice biryani. Let's listen to nice music also. Did you?
1 minute.
Okay. So here we talk about constructivism. Constructivism is beyond your whatever you have. So just elaborately you think east, west, north, and south.
சேதுவை மேடுருத்தி சமைப்போம் சிங்கள தீவினுப்போர் காலம் அமைப்போம் சேதுவை மேடுருத்தி வீதி சமைப்போம் வங்கத்தில் ஓடி வரும் நீரின் மிகையால் மையத்து நாடுகளில் பயிர் செய்கிறோம் வங்கத்தில் ஓடி வரும் நீரின் மிகையால் மையத்து நாடுகளில் பயிர் செய்கிறோம்.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Got it. Now do you get the screen?
Yeah.
This is the creative.
No. Audience. Participants, please stop presenting.
Do you
Yes,
get
we
it?
are getting.
Yeah. Now, this is what creative thinking involves. Thinking about a topic in unusual. See, Bharadiyar is talking about national integration, right? Still, he is gone. Still, we are able to, whether we are able to do or not is a bigger question. It is in unconventional and alternative ways to generate new ideas about an established topic. It's a topic that there is need, there is much water being wasted uh, uh, in Ganges. So why not we make it constructively use it for the southern region? So that was his constructivism. Okay, that was his creativism. A creative thinker will try to address an issue from a perspective that hasn't been used before. Still, it is not used. That's the condition of Indian people today, and you and I have to develop our children at least to make it uh, happen, right? So, how to improve critical thinking skills? Thinking skills are implicit in many of the educational interventions shown to raise people achievement. We are only having oriented towards pupil achievement. For example, identifying similarities and differences in subject knowledge improves grades while using the skills of evaluation, decision making, and problem solving. Lessons can be more interesting, more engaging, and more challenging when they include a range of thinking skills. Students work harder and achieve. Lessons can be more interesting, more engaging, and more challenging when they include a range of thinking skills. Students work harder and achieve more. Yes, thank you. Thank you, one and all. Thank you very much for this opportunity, ma'am Alma.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am, principal, ma'am, and the secretary, ma'am. Thank you all very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you,
And
Ma'am, can the participants can have?
one thing, shall we go with the next session? And finally, shall we ask?
Yeah, we'll have final question. Finally, participants can ask questions.
Yes,
We'll
finally,
finish with,
final. Let it
yeah,
be a
yeah,
final. Thank you.
yeah.
Now over to Raji.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, unmute your audio. Ma'am,
Sorry.
yeah,
Thank you, ma'am.
yeah.
Good evening to everyone. I'm Raja Kumari, working as a Tamil teacher in Marking Secondary School, Singapore. I would like to thank my principal, Mr. Go, head of the department, Madam Rashida, subject head, Mr. Murthy, and my colleagues for supporting me. I extend my thanks to the organizing committee members of Stella Matutina and Shalom Academy, Dr. and Mrs. Alma Juliet Pamela and Dr. and Mrs. Selma Rani for giving me the opportunity. I would also thank the faculty members and team members who provided the support and guidance throughout the program. Thank you once again.
Hey.
Okay. I would like to open my PPT. Please bear with me. Okay. Have you ever noticed small children playing around? Alternatively, have you looked at the books they draw? If not, please look further. I also look at my children's work, and as a result, I could understand my kids thinking. One day, my 3-year-old boy, and I were walking on the road. He was thinking something and suddenly asked so many questions to me. In one point, I did not have patience and asked him to keep quiet. Kids will ask us questions to the extreme level what we say that. Nevertheless, what happens at school or college is different. I learned that we want students to think and ask us questions. Yes, questions of their thinking. We teach in the classroom with our curriculum and assignment in our mind. Students can do various actions when they think in their mind. But when we think of students, do we really think of what we should get from them and make them think? We ask our students think always, what kinds of thinking do we value and want to promote in our classroom? Learning is a product of thinking. If one considers just verbs, Oxford English Dictionary rates the verb think as the 12th most used verb in the English language. In my school, Professional Development Committee introduced a book, Making Thinking Visible, in 2016, written by Ron Richard, Mark Church, Karen Morrison. It illustrates how to promote engagement, understanding, and independence for all learners. When we use making thinking visible in our classrooms, teachers can make the various forms, dimensions, and process of thinking visible to ourselves. In this book, when we talk about making thinking visible, generally referring to those specific thinking strategies and process students use to build deeper understanding. One major goal of making thinking visible is to facilitate greater understanding among students. Another aim is to enhance student engagement and independence of thinking. The second goal is accomplished, at least in part, through the development of students' meta-strategic or meta-learning knowledge. Learning is a consequence of thinking, retention, understanding, and the active use of knowledge can be brought about only by learning through experience in which learners think about the things with what they are learning. These phrases given by David Perkins. Okay, now I would like to say something about the thinking routines. Thinking routines can be thought of as any procedure, process, or pattern of action that is used repeatedly to manage student behavior and interactions, to organize the work environment, to facilitate transition, or to maintain rules for communication and discourse. Thinking routines operate as tools for promoting thinking. When thinking routines are regularly used in classroom and become part of the pattern of the classroom, students internalize messages about what learning is and how it happens. Thinking routines have many strategies that they help students easy to learn, deepen their thinking, and critical thinking. They are designed to assist teachers implementing an environment of learning in which learners and teachers to make their thinking visible and explicit. Okay, this is the routine See, Think, Wonder I have taken for my lesson. Madam Telma, Dr. Telma, she described about the thinking skill. I would like to share about my experience in the classroom, what I have done in my classroom. Okay. Uh, Sorry, is it audible or is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yeah.
Okay. Thank
Both.
you, ma'am. Okay. Can you see my slides? Can you see
Yeah,
my slides?
yeah. We are able to
Okay, ma'am.
see. We are able to
Okay,
see.
ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. In terms of usage of language, my colleagues and I adapted one of the routines, see, think, wonder, to introduce and explore ideas, which used in the beginning of Tamil language lesson to write a composition. Okay, what's the objective of this routine? The routine emphasizes the importance of observations as a basis for thinking and interpretation step that follows the close looking, and to provide an opportunity to get 21st CC competency, century competency, critical and inventive thinking. We are focusing on this because we are bringing our children to the future world. Okay, this routine has some steps. The first step is setup. Second, see. Third, think. Fourth is wonder. Okay, generally, we need to set up an image or object in a way that students can see properly or have a printed copy that the whole class can see when seated together, which means we can print the copy and give it to everybody. So all the students will have a printed copy of an image. Or you can project the image on the projector screen. Okay, otherwise, on multiple copies, the parents can look at it. We must allow sufficient time for observation, close observation for 2 to 3 minutes before talk or discussion. Okay, how did I implement in my classroom and my colleagues also implemented? Okay, firstly, we selected the students from 14 years old students we have selected, which means in Singapore we teach for secondary school from 13 years onwards. So the secondary 2 students we have selected for this. The subject is Tamil language. Okay. Firstly, I projected an image and my colleagues also projected this different images on the screen to the students and instructed them to spend 2 minutes silently looking at the image. They should not talk anything. This seeing provided the opportunity to look carefully, to more fully observe and to notice before interpreting. Before they discuss anything, they have to observe first. Okay. Since COVID-19, the group work was not a thing because usually in Singapore schools, we have a lot of cooperative learning, group works will be. But in COVID situation, we are maintaining social distancing. So we don't encourage the students to partake part in the group work. So students were asked to state what they noticed in the image. So I was a teacher, so I asked questions to the students. What did you see? Okay, we emphasize them. They have to observe only, not interpret. This is very important. We gave some suggestions that they may put their fingers on within the image. Now they cannot put the image. We can call the students and put them to put their finger on the image. We did. Okay, right. I projected this see things wonder on the screen, so the students can firstly they were shared what they saw. Okay, we asked the students what they thought on the image first, that is see. Teachers prompted questions to students such as based on what they're seeing and noticing. What it makes us think. Only thinking is very important, okay? What kinds of interpretations can we form based on your observations? What are other things going on here? What do you see that makes you say that? Please listen to these questions properly. You may have activity at the end of this section. These are the questions encourage the students to provide supporting evidences. This helps them to move away from guessing or unsubstantiated opinions. Teachers compile all the points. Whatever I wrote on the board, I compile everything and share. Okay, the final step is wonder. The wonder routine is to ensure that learners have had time to take in new information and then identify additional wondering. We ask the students what they are now wondering about based on what they have seen and have been thinking. Initially, students found it hard to separate thinking from wondering. For instance, they might wonder whether their interpretations were correct. I wonder, I was prompting these questions like this. I wonder if they don't really use their handphones. You can see in the picture, except one lady, I couldn't see anybody using handphone. I mean, a few. I could see only two others, they're not using handphones. Nowadays, in our home, everybody is using from the kids to adults, right? But in this picture, I could not see many people are not using their phones. The students also have shared this same thought to me because this is National Day celebration, so they don't want to use their headphone until the celebration is over. We expect that wondering is about asking broader questions that push us beyond our interpretation to look at issues and ideas raised by the image. Teachers compile all the thoughts shared by the students. It was very helpful to write about a topic given by the teacher. So all the points we will collect first. In this routine, students are generally sharing their thinking at each step along the way before moving on to the next one. This allows the class to build on the group thinking at the previous stage and often results in richer discussions than might be had alone. It can be very useful to document the thinking at each stage as it happens, though it is not always necessary. So, I provided the worksheet for my students to write everything on the paper for the documentation. If the use of see, think, wonder is to generate interest in a topic and raise questions, then wonderings can be written down and posted around the room to encourage ongoing consideration, and students can be encouraged to add to the wonderings over time as new ideas occur. So you can paste around your classroom whatever you get from the students. Okay, now I would like to share what I have done in my classroom. With my classroom, it consists of 24 students in my classroom. So before I start this see, think, wonder strategy, I could see only few points on the whiteboard. I could not get more points from the students because the questions were not asked by routine. So after I introduced my routines to them, I could get many points. So I have already categorized what is see, what is think, and what is wonder. So they were able to provide more points according to the topic. So I compiled everything and I wrote on the board. Okay, this is my another classroom teacher's experience. So the teacher was looking at the image and she pointed out, then the student also was explaining what happens there. The same thing. So we can conduct paired discussion like this. The two students can do the discussion. Since it's a COVID-19, we don't want to stand together. Singapore follows this very strictly. Okay. Due to the COVID situation, Singapore has student learning space. It's a website provided by the government. The students can use this tool. So what I did, usually the students will give only 1 or 2 sentences for the whole discussion. But this time they have given more points after using this. Okay, you can see the evidences what they have done in the classroom. So these students usually give less points, but after this strategy, they have given more points. Okay, from this we could able to make the students to see, think, and wonder. Through this, students could able to improve their critical thinking. Their thinking skill is improved. We can see easily in their work. Okay, what's my takeaway key points from this session? As an audience, what do you want to take away from this? Seeing requests, looking closely, discerning detail, and suspending the constant tendency to interpret has important meaning for others in different times and interpret and evaluate. Thinking involves interpretation of that detail by making links to what you already know. This is a basic form for the learning. Wonder requires us to remain open to the possibility that the image may contain details for which we cannot make a connection, and moreover that these cultures. Okay, what do I want to insist? Sometimes this method may not be applicable for all the classes. So there are so many strategies in the making thinking visible. There are more than 20. So according to your class, according to your level of students, you can take and use in your classroom learning and teaching. Okay. These lines I like very much from this book. Wondering about thinking and seeing, moving beyond metacognition. A rider. Okay. I would like to thank my HOD. She has given a message to you all about her experience, Madam Rashida. The education landscape has shifted and teachers must have the growth mindset as we teach in this VUCA world. Making thinking visible was how myself and my team of teachers honed our skills in developing our students to be critical thinkers and to communicate effectively. But how do we teach students to be critical thinkers when we ourselves did not experience a thinking culture as students ourselves when we are in school? That was how my mother tongue department journeyed through our professional learning team. Usually we have our professional learning team. Every week we will gather and discuss about a theme which will be assigned in the beginning of the year. We read the book on MTV, discuss and suggest how we can conduct the various thinking routines in our classroom and continue with discourse based on our individual classroom experience. We saw how thinking can be made visible when we scaffold and support our students' learning through the use of effective questioning, listening, documentation, etc. At the same time, teachers witness that when we successfully create a positive classroom culture, they will be to better engage our students in learning and build their confidence. Okay, this is my subject head. He has also shared a message to you all. See, think, wonder is a wonderful routine for the students to think critically and lead towards 21st century constantly. Okay, this is my team. We are 4 teachers, Tamil language Hindi team. Madam Sumathi, Dr. Andal, me, and Mr. Murthy. Okay, now, okay, okay, sorry. Okay, I just want to tell you something. The culture of the classroom will be different from country to country. India has different culture of classroom, and other countries have different culture of their classroom. Nowadays, this is technology world. So the students, they don't like classroom teaching always traditional method. Something we want to introduce interestingly. If we introduce interestingly, the learning will be very interesting. Basically, students, those who are not talking Tamil, Tamil students, usually in Singapore, they used to talk more in English. So those who are coming from the non-speaking Tamil background from the home, we have to teach something new. Why not you in Tamil in India also? You have a lot of things to do. So we have to think what is applicable to the students. So till that, I would like to end my session. But before that, I want to make you all in English. So I want to practice what I did in my classroom. Shall I show a picture and just practice what I did in my classroom? I want to practice you all. So I would like to present. Sorry. I would like to show a picture now. Okay, this is the picture I'm going to show now.
Ma'am, Rajakumari ma'am. Ma'am, you're muted. Rajakumari ma'am. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Can you? Did you see all the? Did you see the picture?
Yes. No, again you're muted, ma'am.
I didn't do anything, but it's automatically.
Okay.
Okay. Can you all post the thought, what you have saw, what you have seen in the picture? Can you post in the chat box?
Ma'am, Rajkumari ma'am, you just continue, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is muted again.
I don't know why. I'm not doing anything. Okay, I'm not doing anything, but it's muted
Some
or
technical issues. Some
yes,
technical
correct,
issues.
correct. Okay. Now, can you post the question? Post the point. What you have thought about it? Think. What are the questions you can ask the students to think about it, or what you have seen, what you have thought after based on the seeing, what you have thought. Maybe one question each. One question you can post. Okay, the third one, what makes you to get wonder in this picture? Okay, if you have done already, I'm going to post a link so you can send feedback through this link. It's for our presenter. Ma'am, are you going to send any link for the feedback? Elma, ma'am?
Yeah, we are going
Are
to
you going,
post. Yeah.
are you
Yeah.
going to send or I'm having?
Ma'am, pardon, ma'am. I would like to know.
The feedback form, are you going to send or I have my own?
You want to post that? That also you can post. We have our own link.
Okay, ma'am. Then I will post here.
Ah.
Kindly fill up this form for our professional development.
Ma'am, Rajkumari ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You posted your link. I
Yes.
think they will take it and they will do it, ma'am. We
Sure.
will continue.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. If it is so, I'm done with my presentation. Thank you
Yeah.
for the opportunity given, and thank you, audience, for listening my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Now over to Irudaya, Sister Irudaya. Sister Irudaya. Yeah, we have come to the end of the session. I hope I am audible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're audible.
Sister Irudaya is there? Okay. We have come to the end of the session. I would just like to give the vote of thanks for our today's resource persons. Gratitude is the best attitude. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. First and foremost, I would like to thank God Almighty for His constant loving guidance and support throughout the session. On behalf of the management, faculty, administrative, and non-teaching staff, and the entire Stella Matutina family, I would like to express my deep sense of gratitude to the two resource persons, Dr. Mrs. Thelma Rani and Mrs. Rajkumari, Marcelin Secondary School, member of Toastmasters International Singapore, who took their time in their busy schedule to share their experiences on thinking skills. Ma'am, your sessions were very nice. You have presented very nicely. It was you were sharing your experiences from your side, the classroom experiences. So it was very nice, ma'am, to talk about see, think, and wonder. So we are so grateful to you for sharing your experiences. And also Dr. Thelma, who was giving real, we could understand the real teaching from her. Her experience is 30 years. We could never get such teachers right now like that. She was on and on giving her explanations, how we may have to think. So thank you very much for both the resource persons. You were made us to think. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She's my ma'am. She's my ma'am also. I'm the student.
Yeah. Yeah. Next, I would like to thank. I express my sincere gratitude to our sister, secretary sister, Reverend Sister Pauline Mary, for inspiring us and extending her support to conduct this event in a smooth way. I also like to thank our principal, Dr. Joseph Catherine, for her support and for her freedom that is given to us to conduct this. I would like to thank our staff, our band of staff of Stella Matutina, who are behind to help all the time to execute this program in a successful way. And finally, I would like to thank the participants who are patiently listening to our this workshop, and you were really participating for your active participation. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Rajkumari, ma'am, and thank you, Thelma, ma'am. We had a nice experience thinking about your Singapore schools, ma'am, especially, and we had a real experience with ma'am.
Thank you for the opportunity, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity. You gave me freedom. You gave me freedom what to talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, all the audience.
Yeah. Participants, we have posted the feedback form. You can just fill in the feedback form for us. And tomorrow, positively, around 3 o'clock, we'll start the meeting. Thank you. Thank you, participants.
Thank you, ma'am. Madam Thelma, thank you so much. And the members, team members, thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Shall I take a lead?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.